Hello lovelies, it's time for our crystal grid. Woo woo. So in this crystal grid, you're gonna want your petrified wood. You're also gonna want your sunstone, petrified wood. And you have 4 pieces of petrified wood in here. Now, when it comes to the kits, I get asked this all the time with the crystal grids, if we are supposed to leave them up for 1 day or 1 hour. I usually say at least 24 hours. And you could do it for a week, you could do it for the whole month, you could just do it during the full moon or the new moon. But deciding how long you're going to have it up is going to probably indicate where you should place it. I like to place it somewhere that's out of the way, and if possible in a section that's going to amplify my intention. So for example, if I'm trying to build a deeper connection with my relationship with my significant other, or calling in my significant other, I'm going to put it in the relationship section of my bedroom, which is, if you walk in your doorway, it's the far right corner. Okay, so all the way back, far right. Even if you just get a little end table, we try and make these small enough that you could put like a little end table and put it on there. If you are working on connection with maybe loved ones and family, then you can put it in your family section, which is, again, if you're walking through the door of your bedroom or your house, either way, but it's based off of the door. It's going to be the middle of the left side of the room. So if you were to divide it into a grid, like a tic-tac-toe, the middle section, all the way on the left is going to be family, ancestors, those types of relationships. If you want a deeper connection with your children or grandchildren, like your posterity, it's going to be the middle of the right wall. So find the middle of the room, all the way to the right. So right is for children, left is for family that came before you, right is for people that come after, or the right corner is for your romantic section. If you have some spiritual connections that you're working on, or angels or loved ones that have passed away, it's going to be the front right corner. So right when you walk in the room, if you were to draw a line on that wall that your door is on, it'll be the right corner. So complete opposite from the relationship corner, that front corner. That's also where helpful people go. So that would be a really amazing place. If you're working on your relationship with money, that's going to be your front left corner, and that's going to be deeper connection with money. Most of the time, that's not something that we use this type of connection kit for. I'd recommend the abundance kit, but if your soul says, hey, I need to put it in my abundance corner, put it in your abundance corner. Always follow your own intuition, always follow your gut. Even if you're like, ooh, I like it here, but I don't know if it's right or wrong. There is no wrong. There's just places that will make it easier to amplify. But if your intuition is calling for you to put it in a different place, put it in a different place. Same thing with these grids. If I tell you to place it a certain way and you're like, you know what, actually I like it this way, or actually I want this crystal and this crystal and this crystal, you can absolutely do that. These are designed to be the basic setup, and then you can always add to it. That's why we have different crystals in every single kit, because we want you to be able to add to them. So the first crystal, the sunstone, is going to go right here in the center. So anytime a crystal's a point, it means that that energy of that crystal is shooting up. So to take the time and go, okay, what is my intention? Why am I making this grid? What am I wanting to connect with? And then placing that in the center and holding that intention. So is your connection, yeah, you can see that. So I'm going to place mine right there. Is your connection that you're building right now, is it a deeper connection with yourself? Is it a deeper connection with loved ones? Is it a deeper connection romantically? Is it a deeper connection spiritually? Is it a deeper connection with the earth and the animals, like my chicken who keeps calling out in the background? What connection has been feeling stagnant? Is it friends and relationships? You know, a lot of people have had some serious isolation this year. Is that where that angst is feeling like? Holding space for that, and maybe even journaling it and writing it out. I would love a deeper connection with, and then pick something. So with my significant other, it feels like we got really, really busy and we're really distracted. And I would love to deepen that relationship and enhance that. If you're going to write down your intention, I would write it on a small piece of paper, and you're going to place it on the honeycomb and then place your sunstone on top. So it takes that intention in the paper and sends it out. Ta-da! Isn't it fun being in my brain? And we place that on the honeycomb because the honeycomb is symbolic of the support we're getting. About each of us lean on others, and we allow others to lean on us in their time of need. I mentioned this in the unboxing, but I'll just mention it again. When bees actually build their honeycomb, it's actually a bubble when it comes out. And they make this little bubble, but then when the other bees have their bubbles all around it, it pushes together, flattens the sides, and forms the honeycomb. Grab my back up here. So all those are just little tiny bubbles that are shrunk down. So I love it because it's reminding us that it's okay to lean on others, and it's okay to have others to lean on as well. And so, and allow them to lean on us. And so that's why that's what we place under that sunstone. That's your stone that enhances light and enhances your authenticity. It's going to help with the endurance and getting past all those fears, because sometimes we have fears of connections, especially if we've experienced negative relationships and pain from relationships, which I think we all have by this point. So it's going to help to soothe some of those fears. If you feel like there are things that are blocking you, you're like, I want this connection, but, write those down and then burn them. That way you can give them a voice, but then you can say, this is not my new normal. This is not part of who I am. The next thing I really want to point out is the tree. And so with this tree, it's symbolic to the tree of life because you have the roots, you have the trunk, and then you have the leaves or the fruit that come from it. In this case, it's more like the shade that gets to come and they get to flow, meaning that everything underneath is going to show up on the surface. So as we dive into, let's say, a deeper connection with ourselves, connecting with yourself and saying, what is going on under the surface that maybe I'm not seeing, and asking for clarification and intention. With crystal grids, it's all about the intention. It's a tangible way to create a visual intention. So each time you see it, you remember. That's why we say, yeah, leave them up for a week or a month, because it allows you to remember the whole month as you see it. Now you'll notice if you get really close, there's 4 infinity figure 8 symbols. Obviously, that's one for each of the 4 directions. And you're going to place a petrified wood on each of those. Okay, so I'll do that on my little one here in the back, unless it slides. Okay, it's going to slide. Daggone it. There we go. That one works. I just need to be more patient with my petrified wood. Well, they're kind of sliding, but you get it. So you're going to put one at each of the 4 corners. Now, petrified wood is really powerful because it's the stone of patience. If we listen to the wisdom of the trees and we tune into that, the tree takes so long just to germinate a seed and let whatever the seed is encapsulated in to dissolve away. Then it waits for the ground to bury it. Then it sprouts a seed and it's a little sapling, and then it grows into this huge, enormous thing. And then that thing lives for a long time, and then it dies. And then it has to sit in a dry climate and have pressure. So absence of moisture, pressure, heat, and it becomes a rock, and it becomes infinite. Catch the symbolism there? So just like these infinity symbols, it becomes an infinite part of our lives. Everything that you put out comes back to you. And when you look at connection with partnerships, both of you are doing this. And whether that partnership is with spirit, whether that partnership is with nature or with yourself, mind and body, we're doing this all the time. We meet in the middle and then we go off and have our adventure. Meet in the middle, go off and have our adventure. And there isn't really an end to it. And I like it a little bit more than, like, it is a circle, because the circle is infinity. I love circles. However, I do love the infinity because it's a circle that, it's 2 circles that overlap. So if you took the circle and you twisted it, which means that we cross paths, so we connect. So we're not just running and always missing each other. We connect, we collide, we unify, we partnership. And so I love the infinity symbol. I think it's one of my favorite symbols. So you're gonna put the petrified wood on those. And then you'll notice around here, these little squigglies, that's actually also infinity. That is the Greek symbol for infinity. And I kind of love the whimsical style, so I left it whimsical. It was really fun to create. So that's our Greek infinity. Da, 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 da. So you have like infinity on infinity on infinity. Do you remember as a kid when we say, I love you, infinity? Oh yeah, I love you, infinity plus infinity. Well, I love you, infinity plus infinity plus infinity plus infinity, surrounded by a circle of infinity. That's unconditional love. And so with that, you can place, if you have some clear quartz, you can choose to place some quartz around it. You can choose to place items in each of the sections as well. You can also use black tourmaline as a good supporting anchor stone. So placing black tourmaline on the grid will help protect those relationships. You can put one in each corner, or if you have our black tourmaline palm stone, that works perfect too. You can use amethyst as a protectant as well, an amplifier. And then if you really want to, and I assume you probably want to wear this piece, but if you're not wearing it and you want to put it on your grid, you can actually place it next to, if you have your piece of paper of what your intentions to connect are, you can place it next to your sunstone on the center, and it just kind of leans, which is nice because then it makes kind of this 3D art, just like that. Because remember, copper amplifies the crystals, and you have all the chakras here. So especially if your intention is a deeper connection with self, that's a really good place for this charm for this month, is to put it here, because it's going to help to connect with self, and so connect to all of those chakras, connecting to balancing each part of you and knowing what it is you need or what it is you don't need in your life. That's huge too. So I invite you to do that as well. I'm really excited for this one. So hopefully this will help to amplify some of your connections, understand some of the intentions you're putting out there, and clear out some limits around deeper connections. I'll see you in the next video.